Heck of a win, a lot of fun. I've always enjoyed coming to the Rose Bowl. I think of the 3 times I've been here, we had won. So every time I've come to the Rose Bowl, I've won a game. So a lot of good memories. But proud of our kids that we responded, had some adversity. Had some things that didn't go well, but we kept fighting and kept coming back, and thought we showed a lot of character and heart. And I think we were the more physical team. I think we were the more disciplined team, and just executed better and kicked their butt. So credit to our players, credit to our coaching staff. I thought we had great plans on all 3 phases and executed well.
The way Damon stepped up after the injury, how would you describe his performance?
Electric. He was awesome. And, we're blessed. We have, 4 backs that we think are really, really good players at the group of 5 level. And, the trainer came over to me all dejected. Like, I just don't think I can get Scottrade ready. I was like, that's fine. We got other guys. So they stepped up, and, we want Scottrade to get healthy and get him back. But Damon stepped up and played huge.
It feels like for most teams, losing a guy like Scottrade would be kind of a death knell for an entire half in a game like this and all that. Like, how often have you had a running back room quite like this, where you can just, hey, go right to the next guy?
Blessed. I mean, we had some at South Dakota State where we had 2 guys who got drafted, and another one who was really good who kind of was a knucklehead, but probably should have been that level. So I've had it before, but it's a blessing. But we're missing our top receiver today too. Keegan's our leading receiver, and he was out today, and guys stepped up. And great job by Slice, just blending the game plan to fit the personnel that we have available and using the players we have, which I thought was outstanding.
What is Scottrade doing?
I think it's like a sprained ankle or something.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing serious. He just walking around.
And what was Keegan dealing with?
Just a little head injury, but hopefully he'll be back, for next game.
We kind of had
his head bounced off the turf in that one play against
Idaho State. That deep pass or whatever. Okay. And then we kind of had some fun with Damon and all that. I don't know if it's like fully sunk in. And I mean, yes, you've won at the Rose Bowl before, but where does this kind of like rate for you personally? I mean, I'm here as a head coach.
It's a great win. I mean, it's my first win as a head coach against our 4 opponent. So I think that's satisfying. But I try to enjoy all the wins. I enjoyed last week against Idaho State. It's good to come into these venues, and whatever the venue is, whether it's the Rose Bowl or winning at Montana Stadium is pretty fun. Winning at North Dakota State Stadium is pretty fun. But this is up there.
I know you guys want to run to win. I know you guys are built to run to win. Did you expect to be able to run with this much success against this defense?
Hope to be able to run it for 200 yards against them, but they probably exceeded my expectations running for 290 something.
I think it was 298.
Yeah, we ran it really well early. I thought we may have to wear them down as the game went on, but we ran it well early. So credit to the O-line. I thought the O-line played very well. Coach Bruce done a good job with them getting better.
Jason, I know you go into every game to win. Did you, by any chance, foresee dominating them like that? I mean,
when did you kind of? I saw you guys do it in practice a little bit, but like, when did you guys decide hey, we're gonna rock with Jamar in this spot? And like, what makes him good in that spot?
He's a good player. He's physical. He runs through contact, and he's rotating a little bit at guard as well. But he's a good player. You want to get your best players in the field and find a role for him.
It felt like there was some certain points, David Murphy early, that 4th and 4 stop late and all that too, where the defense just kind of stood on its head and didn't give UCLA a shot to make you guys kind of pay for some of the aggression. What can you say about the defense tonight?
Awesome. I was probably the most proud is, they had a 3-and-out backed up after the fumble. Then they punt it and we fumbled the punt and give it right back to them. And then they come back and hold them to a field goal. That's tough sometimes. Man, you got to really show some grit and some character and some response when it's like, fuck, we just got the 3-and-out. What else you want us to do? And then they went out and stopped them again for a field goal. Excuse my language.
We saw the 2 trick plays to start out with, bunch of 4th down tries. How do you approach a game like this in terms of the aggression?
There's a quote that I love. I'm not sure who said it, but fortune favors the bold. So you got to be aggressive to win games like that. And that was my pitch to the offensive staff on our openers meeting. I said I wanted to run that first play, and I knew it'd be a good hit. And I said if it's really good, and I wanted to get past midfield. They didn't quite get past midfield. Maybe we should have waited. But then we went right back to that. But we came in here. We told the kids we're going to be aggressive. We weren't going to be scared. We're not playing. Play these games and try to keep it close. We can come to win these games.
Do you feel you play looser, that you're not scared at all?
Yeah, I think. You want your team to be confident. You don't want your players to fear making mistakes. you know, and I think that's an environment that I really want to try to build around our team where guys can respond from when they make a mistake and they're not afraid to make mistakes. They're going to be aggressive and not afraid to take chances.
How much of a debate was it, those 2 4th-and-1s in between, within the 5? I mean, was it, hey, we're always going to go for this, or what? There was no doubt. Is there, and I know you're going to get the analytics grade and all that too. I mean, was there a part of you maybe on the second one that's like, maybe we should took the points, or you didn't care?
No, and and it's a shame. The first one, I think if we hand it off, we would have got it.
Was that an RPO or what was it?
No, it's supposed to be, and really it's my fault. It's a bad play call by me because we do have a read option element if there's a blitzer off the edge.
Mm-hmm.
There really wasn't a blitzer off the edge, so we should have handed it. And I think we would have got it for a yard. And then the second one we just fumbled after we got it. So we just got to have better ball security there. And I believe in Data. He'll bounce back from that.
Caleb Coleman had some big ones tonight. What can you say about his performance?
Caleb is really a good tackler, and we got on him. We needed him to play better than he played against Idaho State. He had to be more physical, getting off of blocks. Tough for me to actually grade how well he got off of blocks without watching the film, but he's a very good tackler in space, and he tackled well.
Should Buckley have fielded that punt? That was the plan.
We want to catch all the ones we can.
Uh-huh.
If you can get there, you want to catch that because we would have had great field position if he catches it. It was probably at the plus territory. It was beyond the 50. So you want to catch it. If it bounces, it might bounce 20 yards the other way. So he's right to go catch it. We just got to secure that, and we got to have. I think some of our specialty jobs, this might be on the bye week. We got to compete. We got to make sure we got the right guys in there and compete a little bit for it. I don't love that kickoff out of bounds either to start the second half. So I'd be up to giving Charles maybe another shot to compete there. Though I really liked how Grant responded and kicked off well after that as the game went on.
You hit on this a little, but you're well traveled. You've been a lot of places in college football. To get this opportunity and capitalize it, what does it mean to you?
Well, we were fortunate to have, people ask me, the whole time I got here, everyone was saying, oh, your schedule's so tough. And it's all how you look at things. I thought, hey, we got great opportunities. We didn't take advantage of our opportunity enough against Michigan, but we took advantage of this opportunity. Having played in the Big Ten, you kind of dream of, as a coach of beating the Big Ten team. Now, I never dreamed it would be UCLA would be the first Big Ten team I'd beat because I never foresaw them getting in the Big Ten. But no, it's definitely satisfying and just shows what we're capable of doing.
Coach, any comments on Jack Lane's leadership and voice?
Awesome. Great decision making, tough. I thought he did a really nice job managing, the end of the game and making sure we were snapping it, low on time. And he's really playing at a high level. Where I told him this week, I said, I think you're playing the best you played in 4 years I've known him.
What'd you think of CJ McBean tonight?
I thought he did a good job. I got to watch the tape a little bit more to really dial in on his performance. I know, to me, it's usually a big thing. If you're a safety, you don't give up a lot of big plays. That's a good sign. And, their longest, they had a 33-yard run, a 32-yard pass, 20-yard pass. We didn't give up a lot of big plays. What do the stats have before 4 tackles? So, seems like it was a solid job, but we got to dig into the tape a little bit more.
A bit more run for Dimitri tonight. What was kind of the motivation with that?
Well, you know what? Just execution. We felt like there were some things against Idaho State that we didn't execute well.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think Dimitri's done a good job of just doing his job. And, he might not be always some other guy might be a little faster or a little bit more flashy, but, there's a premium for being able to trust the guy's going to do exactly what he's supposed to do.
Do you feel this is like the turning point? It could be the turning point for this program because you talked about so much, never got so many congratulations for a 17-point loss and all that too. Do you feel this is the culture changer?
We got to keep getting better this week. We got 3 practices this week in the bye, and we got to get better because, New Mexico State, I bet they win tomorrow, and that'll probably be a big game. They're 3-0 and we're 2-1. That'll be a big game in the state. Hopefully we get a great crowd in there. And, again, we got to we have a lot of momentum right now, I think, as a program, and it's important that we keep the momentum, keep getting better and take advantage of it.
No CJ, no Tevin tonight. What's going on with them?
CJ's out for a little bit with a head injury, and Tevin has he ended up having a little procedure on his knee. Just he was not moving around the way he's capable of. So we're on to just get a little scope and get that cleaned up. He's gonna be out for a while.
Gonna be out for a while.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, that kind of like that Bankston screen pass, TD where he's supposed to go in, but he kind of bounces out, he played 6 and all that. I mean, what'd you see on that?
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I thought, I was really thinking like situationally, like what we had to do to get a little closer to go for it, because I wasn't crazy about, kicking a really long field goal there. And if you punt, there's a good chance of a touchback. So I kind of was hoping we'd get, so I think it was like a 3rd and 11. I was hoping we'd get it to like 4th and 4 or something. So we were in a good position to go for it at 4th down. And then he just kept running. And I figured he's got to step out of bounds or something, but now he's run all the way and scored. So what a play by him.
It felt like you guys were kind of like running off left tackle, off left guard, like a bit more and all that too. I mean, was it something that you guys saw or?
No, we really didn't design to run plays either way. I mean, I think it was a matter of just kind of what we had on the call sheet and where the hash was and how we had things dialed up. So I think we're trying to keep it pretty balanced and off that way. And once in a while, we might have said, hey, we like this guy a little bit better on this block for this play. Let's run it there. But
did Keyshawn have his baby this week? Is that
he did?
He did.
Keyshawn's a proud daddy, so he's 1-0 as a daddy. had a baby girl.
What'd you think of Darren Agu in his first game back too?
Did a nice job. I got to see again, watch the tape to see that. But again, we didn't have a lot of buzz. I was just impressed. He's a mature guy. He was very clean with assignments this week, and he's in good shape. And it was good to have him back.
And for you, but I mean, I know it's kind of like a repetitive question, all that, but I mean, you're doused, obviously, you're still kind of wet and all that. You get that like washed over you. What is that feeling right there for you?
I wish they were doing it when we coached the Mountain West Championship and waited for that, because we haven't, 2 wins wasn't our goal this year at all. We got a lot of work to do to get where we want to go and play in December and we'll see. You can compete every week. Hopefully we're in a position where we're still in the race in November.
It feels like Imaleva did not hurt you guys a ton on the ground. I don't have the stats in front of me and all that. I mean, how well do you feel they did? But yeah, you're pulling him up, containing him.
Hey man, he carried it 6 times for 33. There's one time, a few times we got to contain him a little bit better on scrambles and things. We got good runners like that. You got to layer in the rush. You got to kind of have a guy who's behind, so that if he breaks the first guys, you're there. So that's something we can work on and get better at this week in practice.
Yeah, and like not to like do like the Debbie Downer stuff, like obviously like huge win and all that too. But I mean, like are you still looking to see more explosiveness out of the passing game, or where are you right now?
Get better. I mean, we're going to play better teams than UCLA. I know they're a Power 4 team, but there's going to be a lot of teams we play that are better than UCLA. So we're not, let's not think we just beat Ohio State or something. It's ranked number 1. We got to keep getting better and improve in a lot of areas on our team, because I know there's better team. We play one team that beat this team. UNLV beat them as well. So I mean, that's another team who's good. So you've had a lot of common opponents with UNLV already.
I'm not trying to like get you in trouble either. I mean, were you surprised at like UCLA tonight? Like, was it not as good as you expected, or?
I definitely thought we could beat them, and I thought if we could get up on them, that would be hard on them, because they've been down a lot, and sometimes when you're things aren't going well, you can kind of spiral downward and stuff. So I probably expected them to maybe have a little bit more early. I thought we'd get their best shot early, so I was a little bit surprised how well we jumped on them early to get 14-0.
That a couple of nice catches for Ziel in particular. How is he settling that at this point? What do you think he brought tonight?
Job, he's got to keep getting better. He had a couple of busts and things too, but that's part of being a young player.
Are you expecting anything from Big Cap this week?
I got to check in with my guy Big Cap. Is he watching the game? I don't know. I'm sure he had some money on it. Hopefully he had New Mexico money line for his sake.
No kidding. Anyone on the Zoom, make sure you guys are loud, please.
Symbieta, what do you got, Jeff?
Jason, first of all, congratulations. I know you thought you could win. Your offensive line was dominant. They didn't just control it, dominant. Did you see a scenario where you were going to be as dominant as you were tonight?
Well, I give a lot of credit to Coach Booth and those guys, because they have really, life is all about improving, Jeff. And I think we've improved a lot up front. You look at how we ran the ball against Michigan a couple weeks ago to how we ran the ball today. We really made a big jump forward. And I credit Coach Booth for that. He's done a good job, and those guys. I think they've really worked and take pride in it, and did an outstanding job today, Jeff.
It's Think India, Jason. You just went into and I don't care what Big Ten team they are. That's a Big Ten team. You went into their stadium and you didn't just squeak by. You dominated a Big Ten team tonight. What's that mean for the program?
I think it's big for the program. I think it's I think I asked Frank this week, when's the last time we beat a power conference opponent? I think it was 2007 or 2008. So that's been a while, so I think it's a big step for the program. And again, I hope we need to get the bandwagon filled up, man. I'll be talking on your show this week. We need to get people into the band. They want to see I know they love big time sports. Maybe this is our revenge for Donovan Dent transfer into UCLA, getting them and stuff. So you can support the football team and get behind us. And I'll be disappointed if we don't have 30,000 people in the stands for New Mexico State. I'll be disappointed.
Man, you guys got to be really loud. It's loud down here. Be loud.
Okay. Hey, Coach, could you just talk about what it does for you guys moving forward? That's a big win. You got a lot of guys on the team that seems bought in, and that could be very helpful.
Yeah, I think our players are bought in, but I think anytime you can just have success and build belief and get guys more bought in, that they're going to trust us. They're going to trust the plan that we're putting out there for how we're going to do things. And I've seen that grow. Again, I think guys might have not been sure going into Michigan, but I think we built some belief in that game, even though we didn't win. And I think there were some good learning moments from last week's game. I think we took some steps forward, even though it wasn't maybe the result you'd love to have against a team like that, but then we took another step forward. So I definitely think we got a lot of momentum, and we got to focus on the task at hand, though. We got to keep getting better. We can't, in some ways, I love having a bye week after a big win like this, because it gives us more time to get down to earth, because these can be tough sometimes if you have a big win like that, to come back and play really well next Saturday. So I'm thankful for our bye, that we can kind of get down to earth and get to work and get better for a good New Mexico State team that I bet will be 3-0.
So that bye week, Coach, you still going to keep that fire up, though, right? That intensity.
Yeah, we got to get some guys healthy as well, but we'll go a little lighter on Tuesday, but then Wednesday and Thursday we'll be in the pads and good versus good and competing and getting better. And iron sharpens iron. Van, what I'm saying? O-line, D-line, they got to get better and get after it.
Let's go one more. Let's go. Sean's got one, and then I want to get Tavian in so we can get going.
Yeah, I'm actually asking about Tavy and all that, kind of like that pick and all that, the one that he got. I mean, to see him get that, like, guys, 6-year senior, played for 3 different head coaches and all that too. I mean, what is kind of the feeling of you seeing that?
I'm proud of this guy, Tavy. We're talking about you. Get over here. I'm proud of this guy because he stuck with it. He was even thinking, when I got here, he was in the portal, he was going to leave, and I'm proud of him. He stuck with it, and like Frank said, he's been on some of these press conferences that weren't too happy, right?
No,
where you were talking about bad stuff. So, again, I think one of my biggest jobs as a coach is to make sure, like, our guys were older guys, and this could be his last year. I think he's still deciding whether this be last year. I want to make sure if this is guys' last years of college football, they say, you know what, this was my best year. This is my favorite year. I love this year. I loved everything about it, and I'm proud of him. And I think it was very fitting for the loyalty he showed to the program. A guy who came here out of high school 6 years later. And that's really how I want to build this program. I want to get a lot of guys out of high school, hopefully stick with us. Awesome to see him finish out with that great interception. So
appreciate you, Coach, man. Appreciate you. Love you, man.
Love this guy.
Love you.
Okay. I'll transfer it over to him now. Okay.
Cool.